fans, jerseys have already been printed. Duke don't sleep. The PDP is alive and well. And when we descend, the Spartans are going to run the Red Army out of town. And so get ready for that. Get ready for that. I'm not going to give you any specific time now, but it's going to happen very, very soon. We're going to launch in Trinidad very soon. And we have no friends but the people. We are not the friends of the PNM, nor the friends of the UNC. We are friends of the people. We be looking at the issues that affect the rank and file, looking at the issues that are pertinent to you, not what pertinent to us, what are pertinent to you. So this is what's in Duke Malacca Saturday Live, small, keep it short. 2 issues, how to seek help in Tobago, go through your...
So, on Saturday, Mr. Watson Duke would have informed Trinidad and Tobago, more so Trinidad, that he is coming. He's coming to launch the PDP in Trinidad, and he's saying that get ready. He's neither for the PNM or the UNC. So he's saying that, you know what, I am coming to launch the PDP in Trinidad. So my question to you today is, you have people who would ask the question about why would people willingly come and support people who have don't have any best interest of Trinidad and Tobago. Right? They don't have the country at heart. You hear how they talk, you hear how they think, you hear all of how they feel. But you still have people who would carry a coffin around. There's a lot of people who will come and talk the first prime minister. There are people who would call and make themselves, make their position known. And you would ask, why would they do something like that? So I want to ask you today, why you think they would do something like that? The talk on the ground, the moving around and talking on the ground, you're hearing people saying that they feel that the government is not going to win the local government elections. And the question is why? Why is that talk filtering around? Right? Why would people, why you think Mr. Watson Duke feels so confident to come to Trinidad and start a political party? All right, so I'm going to go to the phone lines. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Pastor Google.
Hi, good afternoon.
How are you?
I am good, sir.
Pastor Google, I want us to find out 2 things along with this, because this is very confusing to me. Now, firstly, who are the colleagues that he's mentioning? You see...
Well, all of those things will come out in time,
All right. Who is his financer for this political party?
Well, nobody don't know the finances for UNC, and he may not even know the financer for the PNM.
All right. And then, I thought he wanted secession from Trinidad. So how come you're coming now and having a PDP in Trinidad if you want to separate Trinidad from Tobago? Does that make sense? If you put an embassy in Trinidad, how can you now say you want to run for election in a country that you consider a foreign land to yours, where you're running in Tobago? These are confusing things for me. I don't know for anybody else, but I find it rather confusing because you can't be separate from Trinidad, but then running an election in Trinidad. It come like Grenada coming to fight election in Trinidad, or a party from Grenada coming to fight an election in Trinidad. You understand what I'm saying?
I hear you.
I find that confusing. But the reason why people will feel they could do this is because they understand the mentality of the people in this country, that we are never really satisfied, and no matter how much we do, it's always a problem because they don't realize the foolishness that has been given to them. Like, for instance, recently we heard this, even in the questionnaire and on the Saturday meeting, where, everybody is against the vaccine because they don't know what's in it. But then the reporter wants to know if they're gonna start giving this new experimental drug to people. Do we know what's in that? You understand the oxymorons of the people, and maybe we could just leave out the oxy. I don't know. You have a nice day, Pastor Google.
All right, thank you. Now we're sticking to the topic, right? I want to stick to the question that I'm asking. Why you think people will knowingly come out and defend people who they know it's outrightly seen as they don't want anything good for the country? Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, Pastor Google,
Yes,
and to your listeners. Pastor Google, you know what is the reason for that and why that exists in our country? We have a precedent of games on top. Games from on top as it relates to our leaders in this country. So anybody feel they could go and not have any character and continue with the games from on top. Because, Pastor Google, you could take any issue that we have in Trinidad and Tobago, and when it comes to going on top to deal with something, we are always going to have a challenge. So from politicians across the board, many times we hearing take it to the police. But on their platform, we are hearing things from them that they have this and they have that information evidence. I want to know if they took it to the police, and why hasn't some of our politicians been arrested, charged, and already in the...
But why? You see, you're going off my discussion. You're going off my discussion.
Well, I was saying, Pastor Gould, is the games that we continue to play. That is
why would people play the games? Why would people play the games? Yeah. Why will somebody feel confident to come and sit down behind a microphone and tell you ill things about the first Prime Minister? Why will somebody come in a studio and sit down behind a microphone and try to make you think that, try to bring you to a level of...
I love that question, Pastor Google, and I will answer you in the best way I can, right? You see, the reason why people just do that, because there is no redress based on who is perpetrating the act, right? So we could go and find a girl who make a video about Kamala, right? Take the resources necessary to find them. But we would not get resources if it is some politician making these statements. Look at gentleman, Mr. Phillips Alexander, say he know about people bringing in drugs and having conversation and these things. I wonder if the police went to him. You understand? Or if they have to wait for a politician's instruction to act. That is what's going on in our country, Pastor Google. Why people feel they could operate how they operate in and not be checked.
All right.
That is what really going on. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Pastor Google.
Good afternoon.
I am one of the people who think that discussing these people is a total waste of time and doesn't do anything for the country. Because I think the reason why they succeed is because they are promoted. They are talked about. They don't have to pay for... No, he don't have to pay for that. But I see they say that, and look, we're having a big discussion about him right now.
I'm not having a discussion about him. Let me correct you. I'm not having a discussion about him. I'm having a discussion about why will people feel confident enough. While you're saying that we should have a discussion about them, But they are on platforms. They have a microphone in front of them. Some of them are given the opportunity to share their views on how they feel about certain issues. And my question is, why do you think that they will do it with such level of confidence? And people like me or others, and people like me and others who will be talking about the facts about what's happening and my show, and from time to time, we would show what's going on in the government and what. People don't have no time with us. While you thinking that we should be focusing on that, while you might be thinking that we should be focusing on what the government is doing, you ever think about the stress sometimes we have to go through to find out what the government doing?
Pastor Google, let me go back. I might have to say something that might upset. But if you have to go so hard to find out what the government is doing, then there is something wrong with the government. And there is something wrong with your connection or...
My connection?
Well, yeah, because you have connection. So
I have connection. Ma'am, be careful what you're saying, please. I don't have connections. Don't say that on public radio. When you say that on public radio, wait, just now, I want to correct it.
Because I heard you with certain things I said after you, Pastor Google, I heard you before.
Saying that I have connections?
Well, it wouldn't mean connection, but you have certain people that you could call and certain people that you pick up the phone and call and things.
I do. I would do just like I'm just doing basically what you could do and what anybody else could do.
All right. Okay.
I don't have any correct. I don't have no connections. Please don't put that out there.
Okay. Well, then maybe you need to get some to get the information that you need.
Uh-huh.
So then if you don't have, then you need to make some connections to get the information that you find so hard to come by.
Why not the government make it easier for anybody to get the information? So why I should get connections? It shouldn't be that me getting connection. It should be that they have a website or they have people you could call from the Ministry of Communications or wherever and get the information.
Right. So then we could promote that. So we could ask for that. We could lobby for that. For the government to be more open and more accessible with the work that they are doing and with information. So we could ask for that, right? But my thing is with if the question you asked in there about him and who will support and why you think he would get support is because there is a low sense of, morality has gone to an all-time low in Trinidad and Tobago. People don't see things the way they do, things that were wrong. There's this gray area now that things that used to be outright wrong is no longer wrong, is depending on which side of the fence or where you're standing, it is no longer wrong. So, whereas we find that some people might find, well, this person is not fit for office because A, B, and C. Some people will overlook A, B, and C and say, well, he doing D, E, and F. So A, B, and C is not important to them. Right? So that is one of the reasons why certain people will get the pass to do what they have to do. But my thing is, and I'll go back to it, if we keep promoting, because this person, I will say the media make this person who he is today. They make the media, and I-91.9 is part of that, promote this person to be what he is today. Because everything, if he's stumpy toe, we know he's stumpy toe. If he sneeze, we know he sneeze. And in promoting somebody that way, they're always in the face. Somebody always in your face. You're always saying about the person. You always, every time you turn, is about this person and certain individuals
I might tend to disagree because since he PDP just now when PDP won the elections in Tobago, I can't remember anybody on this radio station from since then to now. I don't know. I haven't spoken about him since. I haven't spoken about him.
You have been spoken about all the time. When he gets his vaccine, when he does, all this and all that. That was after they went. This is the first time I'm talking about Mr. Duke since the PDP won the election. So if you're talking about other people, lies them. But I'm talking about
he has, and if he's going to start a national party where he's coming into to Trinidad, and
he always said that. He always said that he has to be prime minister, and if he has to be prime minister, he has to come into Trinidad. He always said that. It's not the first, and I heard right on this station that he's going to be. We want to be prime minister. Right here, look, this is the station I listen to most of the time. Right here, I hear it.
Okay.
It's not the first time, so he has to come. How else is he going to be? How else is he going to run for prime minister? Not coming in here. So that is nothing new.
All right, thank you very much.
Nothing new to my ears. Right.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Pastor Google. Oh, God, I'm glad I get you.
Yes.
Now, this topic, well, I didn't know he made certain statements, but I'm glad you played it. My thing is...
Just now, you're glad I played it? You're glad I played it? There are people who think I should not have played it.
Well, I'm glad you played it because I like to hear what people say. I like to hear it from the horse's mouth, you know.
Right.
I don't want nobody come and tell me what somebody say and all that kind of thing. So when I heard it, the first thing come to my mind, well, I didn't get a chance to vote in Tobago because I'm not a Tobagonian, right? I'm a Trinidadian and Trinbagonian, but...
Go ahead.
And one of the things I watch in Mr. Duke, what I used to look at, right now I have my long circular, and I watching a white elephant in long circular. And I know he was in charge of PSA when they was building that. And up to now, the people can't move. You say for the people, and the people can't move in there yet. You understand? And on top of that, he was on a program once.
Yeah.
He was on a program once, and I asked him, you know, when he was supporting, he was there with Kamala and them at the time, he was trying to support the PP. So I asked him now, I say, you say that all the public servants working in sick buildings and all kind of thing. The government was building the campus, government campus, to moving the workers to work in good conditions and wherever. And he never pushed the UNC to finish the buildings for people to move in. So I asked him why. He couldn't answer not to know. He understand? He running up and down behind them, and he didn't push them to try to finish those buildings. And those are two of the main big ticket items as a head of an organization he was in at the time. That I would, if he had any fault or anything that I could look at to say, well, he do this or he do that, those are the two things I would look at that we say that he could have been successful in them.
All right, thank you very much.
And he failed.
Thank you very much.
Right? Okay, so you can't get my vote.
All right.
Yeah.
Caller, you have to call me back. I have the ads up on me. Hello? All right.
Who can stand against the king? No one can. No one will. Victory belongs to Jesus. Victory belongs to him. Victory belongs to Jesus. Victory belongs to him. Say who can stand? Who can stand against the Lord? No one can. No one can. No one will. Yeah. Say who can stand? Who can stand against the Lord? No one can. No one can. No one. No one will. Victory belongs to Jesus. Victory belongs to him. Victory belongs to him. Victory belongs to him.
Season 22. Defend free culture.
Thank God I'm free again. Oh. The 24th we come into play. Oh. Songford, you know, is the place. Oh, Chance, tell me what you're drinking. Oh, we drinking. Oh, it's all about Chance. February 24th. Make sure I be there because you don't know it's a soca shell down affair. Yeah, man, pretty sick.
Season 22. Defend free culture at Soundforge.
Happy spirit must live on.
Every Friday, it's all about Fire Mood Soca Fridays with MC Duke and Selector Kochi from 6 straight to 9 p.m. blazing all the latest and past soca hits. So remember, make it a line, make it a day, rock and come in, you know. It's all about Fire Mood Soca Fridays on the Street 919 FM. You don't know.
Season 22. Defend free culture.
Drop your keys and bow your knees, for I am the notorious Midnight Robber.
February 22nd to 28th.
I am here to defend my culture.
Season 22.
I am here to introduce you to season 22.
Defend free music.
We have soca, we have pop, we have calypso, we even have the doubles man.
At Soundforge, culture lives on.
To make sure my culture lives and not just survive.
Season 22, February 22nd to 28th at
The
Soundforge.
spirit must live on.
Carnival, come back. Me say you wake up in the morning and you just realize Carnival come back again. Alright, maybe that isn't 100% true, but hear this. TSB and T-Dot Sided alongside Iwer George presents Carnival Comeback. Carnival Monday, no good again.
This is Iwer George, the big boss of the business. Carnival Monday, the 28th, 3 p.m. Queensback Savannah. Carnival come back.
3 p.m. Carnival Monday, Queensback Savannah. People, young brother, I'm gonna be there live and live these years to be coming to.
Shake it properly.
People, you need vaccination on entry.
Come out in your Monday wear. Come out with your team from 3 p.m. till. Get your female tickets started at $220 and male tickets at $250 with food inclusive. Get those tickets online at suntix.com. Also, book your cabanas. $2,000 for groups of 9 with coolers and food inclusive. All this happening at the Queen's Park Savannah. Carnival, come back.
There's a new taste in town. Maracas Bake and Shark at 79 Robert Street in Woodbrook brings you bake and shark, kingfish, fries, shrimp, aloo pies, and delectable sauces to tease your taste buds. Walk in, order with food drop, or get parking lot pickup at 488 Bake or 75 Shark. Need catering? No problem. Call or email tastemaracas@gmail.com. Follow Taste Maracas on social media for all the delicious details. Taste Maracas, the new taste in town. Corner of Roberts and Rosalino Streets. See you soon.
If you're experiencing pain, constipation, headaches, poor blood circulation, high or low blood pressure, diabetes, cancer, swollen or darkened feet, come visit us at Health and Wealth Lifestyle, located at 73 Eastern Main Road, Barataria, opposite Eastern Credit Union. We at Health and Wealth Lifestyle offer a wide range of services. Come and experience our new 3D analyzer, which allows you to have a look inside your body. We also provide live blood analysis, iridology, ionic foot detox with foot soak and foot massage, aquatherapy, full body massage, and organic supplements on sale such as nano silver, nano zinc, body light, cold pressed sesame oil, and more. Health and Wealth Lifestyle, located at number 73 Eastern Main Road, Barataria, opposite Eastern Credit Union. For more information, call 275-8359 or 288-1108.
Join Nicole Huggins for Health and Wealth Lifestyle every Monday from 9:05 a.m. to 9:55 a.m. right here on the street 919 FM.
Shop at New City Mall and check out our premium selection of high-quality clothing and accessories for men and women. Save on all items with competitive prices and courteous service throughout the entire mall. New City Mall is located in the heart of Port of Spain with entrances at 3 Charlotte Street and number 41 Independence Square. We offer a variety of shirts, long and short sleeve, round and V-neck tops, vests, caps, hats, sunglasses, briefs, boxers, shorts, swim trunks, denim, jeans, long and 3/4, socks, sneakers, casual and athletic, shoes, dressy and fashionable, dresses, formal and casual, skirts, lingerie, undergarments, and a wide range of accessories. Come check us out as we also have clothing and accessories like Levi's, Clarks, Armani Exchange, Hollister, American Eagle, Ralph Lauren, Nike Air Force and Air Max, Puma, Adidas, Timberland, Academics, Aeropostale, Old Navy, Forever 21, Hanes, Dockers, Guess, Converse, and so much more. We have barbers, hairstylists, as well as weave and wigs on sale. All at New City Mall. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram. Sale, sale, sale.
Turn your lights down low and listen to the Master's Radio.
The Church of the Firstborn Assembly of number 399 Eastern Main Road, Waiko Sangre Grande, is pleased to present Pastors Morris and Agnes Johnson and guest. Sundays, Tuesdays, and Friday night, Sunday Ministry of Worship, Children Hour, and the Word from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. Tuesdays, see Jesus in every book of the Bible from Genesis to Revelation. Tuesday morning from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. And Friday night, 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. All night prayer for our nation. Tell your neighbors, tell your friends, tell everyone. For further information, visit with us at www.churchofthefirstbornassembly.org or on Facebook. Email us at church668hope@gmail.com or call us at 753-1113 or 236-7271. Your free gifts and offerings will be greatly appreciated at Church of the Firstborn Assembly, account number 795222 at the First Citizens Bank.
Get in touch with God. Turn your radio on.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
All right, so I'm back with you, and as I was saying before you went for the break, and I sat here and I thought about what the caller was saying about, why we highlight Watson Duke and we highlight Miss Bissessa and all these people. Why don't we just forget about them and just talk about the good the government doing and all that the government plan to do? Because we give them so much attention that that's why they sometimes they win, because we give them all that attention. And I hear the caller, and I disagree. Why? Because if you are a media house, you are a media house to bring news about everything. you know, yes, you may have your bias, you may have your position, just like, all right, then the Bible shouldn't have nothing about the devil. The Bible should only talk about God and the good things that God do. And don't talk nothing about the devil. Don't talk nothing about the devil at all. When Jesus came on this earth, he only talk good things alone. He talk about what the devil do, with how the devil fall, and what the devil plan to do. Jesus tell you all what the devil plan to do, and how he plan to do it. I'm trying to, because at the end of the day, if you are in the political arena, you need to let your people know what your opponent is about. If you don't tell people what their opponent is about, and only talk about all what you doing and all what you doing and all what you doing, and not sure what, hey, this is how the opponent is trying to get you distracted and trying to get you away from the prize. Because the same thing the Bible does. I don't understand how you just, because in life you don't only look at the positive things. In life, you sit down and you reflect on somebody. That's why sometimes some of us just get beat up and beat and abused by people, because, you know, we only see the good thing the person doing. Only see the good thing. We only want to know the good. We don't want to know no bad. Don't tell me about what nobody planning to do me. Don't tell me about what nobody planning to do to me. Just talk about what all the good things that you doing for me and all that. And that's why some women stay in abusive relationships. Because when your friend telling you, girl, leave that man. Sometimes you have to sit down and reflect and think about. So you don't talk about what, since you committed to contest the general elections in Trinidad and Tobago. Don't talk about that. And then people will say, but how it is Google only different, boy? So we only never tell we that? Or what going on? I don't know. I just, personally, I don't think that if I have to sit here and commentate and share my views on political issues, I think talking about everybody is important. Because if you don't talk about, all right, so I don't talk about a man coming on the radio and calling the Minister of Health a convent girl, and the Catholic Church, the convent society, all have nothing to say about it, then bring it to the awareness. That's my point, is to bring it to the awareness of people. Right? I'm going back to the phone lines. And before the caller come in, Kingsley, I want you to come and explain to the listeners the difference between a UNC supporter or a UNC activist and a PNM activist. Why UNC activists will come out and don't care how foolish it might sound, defend the party, and a PNM activist who defending the truth and yet still songs. Well, all right, let me leave it there. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Pastor. And let me see if I could add to that. Because I was brought up in a time where individual character, your character as a man or a human being, male or female, determines. You see the tune you play when you're coming in for 1 o'clock? What? Money can't buy a class? Well, I was raised in a time where class, character, personality was more important than money. So let me
just say this to you. You know, I just draw in a reference or something, right? You know, up to today, I hear people still saying that Mr. Manning had warned us about Miss Bissessa. And when we sit down and we look back, we say everything that Mr. Manning said, we saw come to pass. But you know what? If Mr. Manning had never said it, we would have had no reference. We would have no reference.
And we didn't learn. So this is why I call you because I like where your conversation goes. Let me explain to you. You see this radio station? I don't move my radio station from the station. Maybe once for the week I might move my radio. And I told Tasha sometime to play me a tune, and she wanted to know, well, why? You see that Take Bamboo girl? I have a 16-year-old and a 12-year-old. That's not played in my house. Because Indian people sing about rum, and you hear what we sing about? Take Bamboo girl. How my 17-year-old or 16-year-old can come to sing that to me? So I throw that out the door. So let me move. And this is where they catch my kind of people. Because that falls, because you know going on. When I give she bamboo, I end up with 5 women and 4 children and 4 different women. Right? And so right there I start a problem. You understand my point? So I have no characters for these 4 children. Because if you look up, I live with our next woman. So my morality and my knowing as a father going out the window. That is where we have to start first. So let me move on. So I looked at the opposition. I have a man that is before the court for money laundering, former Attorney General. I have a man, $400 million for live sport. I have Julian John, our next man to answer for a piece of land that they purchased. And these people, I have a man going to Panama with $400 million of my money. And the same people who told me that Mr. Manning was spending too much money, that the GDP was too high, left me with a budget of $63 billion. I have a same man that tell me to Holland and Privat, jump on a plane, 1 ticket to PNM in Panama, 1 ticket to UNC in Miami. And he went to Panama. I have a lady find ganja in her house. And the police up to this day could not arrest anybody. I have a lady put her head. You imagine that? A prime minister put a heliport on top of her house. Did she intend to move? Did the state pay for that or did she pay for it? Because right now it's of no use to her. Right? I have a man jump on a plane. Imagine that. They fly back and forth in Tobago. Big trucks in Tobago. You see, and that's why Watson Duke come with our story. Because Watson Duke was able to convince the young Africans based on their no morality. Is either right, is either wherever you do the police lock you up, or there is no consequence. Because I tell them, when I was going to school, if my parents didn't correct me, I grew up in a time where I might not accept Catholic or Anglican, but there was a level of morality in which you carry yourself based on how you go to school. Teachers used to still put some kind of discipline into you. Now a teacher can't discipline a child. Because if you lash that child, it's a problem. Who took that out of our school system? And because of that, we have a breakdown, especially amongst the African society. Because again, as I outlined earlier, no daddy is only mommy, because daddy have 4 children, 4 different women, and mommy had to go to work. So the only correction that child could get is when they went to school. The teacher would have put something into them based on the religion. That don't happen in our schools no more. But it happens in a Hindu school. Don't care what Hindu religion is being taught, and make sure that there are guidance in which you care it about. That don't happen with me. Long time when you go for and play mass on Ash Wednesday, everybody in the church, and Kaiso not playing after Ash Wednesday on the radio because it's Lent. That has gone. I am not saying that it shouldn't go. But when that gone, Afro-Trinidadians did not accept a level of identity or morality in which we should carry ourselves. So that is why you find a man could come and tell me something in Tobago, and the whole of Tobago vote for him. Because they believe that here we're going, the state is supposed to give me a handout. I have a group of men in my community who live and I have to sit down and wait for hope that the corporation will get up. Them sit down and wait for 30 years for a corporation job. And just get through the other day at 50-something. You understand my point? Instead of we get up and look for something, because here we're going on. A man get a piece of Scotland in the back by Stag. And the other day you and them on the radio making noise. Millions, one man, what is name Bix? One man, he have about 3 outlets. You hear he make noise and tell the government nothing, you know. But you hear the others. Because they on a piece of Scotland, but they have $1 million house and $1 million car somewhere else. We ain't a team that yet, Pastor Google. That is why we could have a man on a rape charge coming to tell people in Trinidad, look out for me, I come in, I don't bring Josie and all kind of thing already. Because what he did, until he ain't go to court and found guilty, his morality don't stand. We have a lady in the Franklin, Canada, Eric Williams, and she's still here.
All right, have a caller hold in.
All right,
thank you. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, Pastor Google.
All right, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to the listeners, 919 Street. Thank you very much, Pastor Google. Pastor Google, that last caller made mention of some names about something. One of the things that we forgot, that we had people who went to the Olympics as sport commentators. Remember that, Pastor Google? Pastor Google?
Go ahead, Mr. Paul. Spain are people holding. That's why I allow you all to talk, and when you finish, because I have callers holding.
All right. Well, then you ask the difference between the PNM and the UNC.
The PNM activists and the UNC activists, what gives them, why are UNC activists will call in and feel so confident enough to say, to state his confidence in the UNC and why he is confident in them, and why what gives them that confidence?
What gives them that? Hypocrisy and greed. That is what caused that. Because I can't see for the good of all, if a government was doing so good, how come they could take an extension in the Constitution of 3 months and 14 days? What would they want extra for? Is to put their friends and family well knitted in contract that we heard about recently, and they were getting money and work without performing and saying it's all right for them to keep once we gain money. You could imagine it have a commentator right now. Every time he comes to the radio, he's talking about how much money man could get and what the government is doing. All of a sudden, people become very hungry in this country, not under the UNC. And when I hear them talking, I say, Lord, Father, who's really fooling? Because I love Donna Cox, because Donna Cox is a very good PNM minister. I know she helps a lot of people. I love Coach Isaac, is a PNM, and he is not a marabunta, and I know he helps a lot of people. So, Pastor Google, I would not forget that we had a minister who everybody saw could have identified, and the former Prime Minister couldn't identify him, but she could identify government ministers now, like Stortong and them, in a paper. Pastor Google, you could afford to talk about anything. You don't study about what nobody's saying, but you can't nobody. Because it's very disgraceful to know that a man before the court for one of the most serious criminal charge, and we have stepped in everything and saying a man is innocent until found guilty. Pastor Google, I will come up because we have a lot of people calling. I am going to support Wendell Eversley with a situation where he's calling on the opposition leader to apologize for accusing our members of the Coast Guard of murder. And in fact, she tried to twist it on and said she wants to know one person who fired the shot. So I am supporting Wendell Eversley. He right now is in position now, writing the commissioner, the acting commissioner, for permission to lead a protest for the opposition leader, Hiamakot, to apologize for accusing the Coast Guard of murder without an investigation. And here making joke, I am full support of him. Thank you very much, Pastor Google, for allowing me this contribution.
Hi, Pastor Google. It is clear now that this man's head is not good. This man called Watson Jew, his head is not good, right? Because he here in Tobago, in his constituency, balling when people going to him now, over all you come out, and all you got to make another date, make another appointment, and all this madness right in Roxborough here, he here doing, he talking about contesting election in Tobago. Why they not trying to fulfill all the promises, failed promises that they would have made to, I don't even want to say the headless chickens, the Tobagonians that would have followed them and voted against the PNM after all that they know and see that the PNM has been doing here in Tobago, right? He here now talking about contesting election in Trinidad. Let him go and fix his constituency. Let him go and address the issues that the people in his constituency have. He too brass face for me, you know.
Well, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Pastor Google.
Yeah, Uncle still in Igwen.
I give humble and quiet peace and blessings to you, Pastor Google. I was listening to you asking some questions here, Pastor Google. And as they say, we are a democratic country, Pastor Google, whereby freedom, as they say, you're free to say what you want to say, Pastor Google. And the problem we have in Trinidad and Tobago, Pastor Google, is that we have no consequences in Trinidad and Tobago with whatever you do, Pastor Google. We come like the dump. You dump everything on we, Pastor Google, and we settle for that, and we take that, and that is that, Pastor Google. It's only one time I see a little consequences take place in Trinidad and Tobago. That caller, I think it's Bacteria mentioned it earlier on too. It's with the little child from Kokori. Here, Pastor Google. By the only time in Trinidad and Tobago, you see that kind of reaction, Pastor Google. Beside that, there is no kind of reaction to what you say, how you say, where you say. Here, Pastor Google. So everybody is free to say what they want to say, what they feel to say, and how they feel to say. Yes? Look how much thing been said here about the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. And what consequences come out of that? Nothing. Every day as a rule. Why you think we have email gate? Who been charged? Who been hold as a consequence to email gate in Trinidad and Tobago, Pastor Google? No one. Here, Pastor Google. So this is the problem we have in Trinidad and Tobago. We say what you want, do it what you want, how you feel to do it, when you feel to do it. Yeah? And no consequences behind it. That is why we in the situation as keep complaining, Pastor Google. That is the consequences we have. That is why I vexed with the medias we have in Trinidad and Tobago. That is why I vexed with the court system we have in Trinidad and Tobago, Pastor Google. Because only few in Trinidad and Tobago know is justice, and the rest knows nothing about what is justice in Trinidad and Tobago. Pastor Google, thanks for the time. And a blessed one. Take care for me, please. Thank you a lot, Pastor Google. Thank you kindly.
That high they riding on TK bubble and bus when he come Trinidad, you know. He also said in times before he didn't care too much for Trinidad, so I'm waiting to see when he come, who Trinidadian gonna look to put he in office, that party in office here, and make he prime minister. Play back the tapes. He had disparaging comments to make about Trinidad. The person in question that you're talking about, talking the first prime minister of Trinidad and Tobago, he just clueless. You understand? Because the ILP was formed out of spite. Jack Warner know the party wasn't going anywhere. He run and joined that party, and all of them lost the deposit. And at the night of the election, when the reporter asked Jack Warner, well, what he think, and his response was, the job was done. Soon after that, he phased away from the ILP and everybody went their way. Right? So, that guy, don't take him on. He just bitter and full of hot air.
Pastor Google, good afternoon. This lady always have a problem. If it's not you, it's Aisha, it's somebody. I find she need to come and look for a job from Iwer, George. She need to come and look for a job from Iwer because she always contradicting and she find this and she find that. Something wrong with that lady, yes? I also glad you played it too, Pastor Google. Keep up your good works.
Yeah, Pastor Google again. You want to know why it is people feeling so comfortable and confident to continue or find themselves and making these statements and things, Pastor Google? We have a precedent that have been set in this country, Pastor Google, where it is as if once you are in politics, or you become a politician, or you are somewhere in that elite circle, that you are above the law and nothing is going to happen regardless of what you do. That is what it appears society has become in Trinidad and Tobago. That is why it is so easy for them to continue down this road. Pastor Google, it is not like as if we in the country come together to stand up and unite against certain things and speak truth to power. You think, okay, Pastor Google, all the different issues, whether it's PNM or UNC or whoever doing it, you think a person or individuals who care about the country not supposed to come together and call people to answer certain questions and face the consequences of their actions? But that is not happening. If you are a supporter of X, X could get away with murder. If you are a supporter of Y, Y could get away with murder. And that is what's going on in this country.
They feel we stupid, Pastor Google, right? He want to team up to play. He could, well, he not here wanting to team up. He already team up with the UNC, but he want to put in front now that he come in as PDP, right? To feel he will win seats to get to hand it over to them. But that are not green donkey, as we just say in Tobago, they will not see. You understand? They already mess up and messing up the THA here in Tobago. You're going to them now and they're boarding where every top sit on their own bottom and all these nonsense. It had certain grants that the PNM had in place that was helping people who are less fortunate and all these things. They scrap all them things. You ain't hearing them talking about that. But he's so brass-faced to get and say he doing live to talk about contesting election in Trinidad. Man, here now.
Pastor Google, good day. Watson, you get swell-headed, you know. He get real swell-headed. Since after the election, he has not presented himself in his constituency in Tobago to say about people's needs. He has not been seen or heard of until now. He's in Trinidad fighting a losing battle. What is he doing in Trinidad? Occupying space. It is alleged in part of PSA office. Is he still a PSA worker? Is he still involved in the PSA? Is he the one who is giving directive behind the scenes? That is what they're using THA money for? To squander in Trinidad talking about embassy? You said all kind of thing about Trinidad, but you're running going to Trinidad talking about you're bringing the party that you know the areas to tackle? Watson, time longer than twine, eh? Time longer than twine. He get too swell-headed. Watson need to slow his roll. Watson and Farley and the rest of the PDP, they come for all the young people on them head in Tobago, right? Between the ages of 18, especially the first-time voters, between the ages of 18 and 30, to get them to vote for them, promise them all kind of jobs. And now at the end of it all, where are these young people for today? Still walking the streets because they were promised a handout and then get nothing. And they know these young people these days, they're not going and look to apply for a proper job. No way. They're looking because they were promised this and they were promised that. And the promises were never fulfilled. They get what they want to them business about these young people anymore.
All right. We go back to the phone lines. Good afternoon, caller.
I'm listening to all the people making. Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. I listen to all the people making a contribution on your voice note there. Very good contribution. But like I say again, Pastor Google, those who don't study the history are doomed to repeat it. Anybody remember Austin Jack Warner and the ILP? The third force in Trinidad almost, 9 years ago? Pastor Google, remember that guy? That gentleman? Who came to the East-West corridor and said he will contest most of the seats? I have just seen a repeat of what Mr. Watson Duke is trying to do now. It's just that the difference is that Mr. Duke has his base in Tobago. Austin Jack Warner had his base in Warner side there.
Yep. Hello?
Yes, hello?
Yeah,
hello?
go ahead.
Yeah. I say, compare and contrast Austin Jack Warner with Watson Winston Duke. Jack Warner had other things question about his finances in what he did in FIFA. Same thing could be said with Mr. Watson Duke and his court matter. And people still gravitating towards those individuals. So I see in history repeating itself again, Right? That's how I see it. And as for the people of Tobago, well, all I can say, all they have 4 years until 2025. And if they say want the PDP, all they vote them in.
All right.
Right? But all they one.
All right. Thank you very much. Have a good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Pastor Google.
Aye.
Good afternoon, Pastor Google. You know what I have to say? Certain people buy this thing wholesale. You saw what you had with the PNM. You understand? You see the reflection of something else and went and jumped at it. And today, plenty of them balling. I know what I'm telling you. Plenty of them balling. They regret 1,000,000% now. Okay, Pastor Google? Have a good day.
Hello, good afternoon.
Blessed afternoon to you, Pastor Google.
How are you, sir?
Well, by the grace of God, still around. He's the boss always. But that's not you. He's something else. He takes 5% of PSA and you went to decide. And since a couple months ago last year, you were saying on the street, the coalition, like part of the coalition will come in. I know Abdullah is going back there. 1/5 and twice shy. So I don't know if it's a UNC PDP thing now. With who else? Dr. Najee Jones, brother, you have a safe afternoon. You too safe.
Thank you very much.
In that country.
Good afternoon, Pastor Google. Tobago in the house. Well said to my Tobago sister. It was full past $400, so like it's $100 a year that they will be dead. Fool the people. And to the other young lady from Tobago, we say all that PNM put in them dismantling it. All of us who apply for business grants and all this would not be getting it. And we have legitimate businesses would not be getting it. Right? So they fool the people. But my mother and them always used to tell me, a promise is a comfort to a fool. So that is what the PDP take Tobagonians for, especially the younger ones, for a fool. Then Farley come in and ask the young ones if they get courage in the bottom, if they can't stay home in the house. But it's the same place they went out and get the same young people to vote for them. And the ones and the PNM ones and them that did not vote, half of them they send home. Half of them they send home. Well, according to my Aisha, we have a OJTTH. So let them take that. Well, if them Trinidadians want to run and vote for a man who under charges and all these things, because all morality gone through the window, Pastor Google. So anybody could form a party and people just jump in and vote for it. So a criminal could come out of jail, form a party, and people will vote for that. Well, here now, we reach where we really want to reach. We reach Tobagonians, so they look for that.
Well, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Pastor Google again. Let me just clear myself.
I am not saying that you're not supposed to speak about any other political party or personality in politics. That is, I am not saying you don't have to speak about them or you're not supposed to speak about them or bring them to the fore. But what I'm saying is the long period of dwelling and making it a whole, because this, since I'm listening here, I haven't heard anything else but this same thing, regurgitating the same thing over and over, and that is my problem. We just going over and over the same thing, bringing back from all things, and that doesn't get us anywhere. We're not moving forward in any way by just regurgitating the same thing over and over. So I'm not saying not to talk about it, because you have to talk about all players in the political arena. You have to. But the dwelling and over and over and over, that is my thing. The wasting of the precious radio time talking about personalities that what I would consider that is not of value to be speaking about in this way over and over and over again. That is my problem. So I don't want no work on a radio station or nothing. I am going to speak when I see something, or if I have a view, I am going to give my view. Who like it. Who don't like it, so don't buy it. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Pastor Will, Watson Duke feel he could fool. Bringing the party in Trinidad to build up in Trinidad for when 2025 reach. Watson Duke feel he could fool. His strategy is to bring back the UNC in power. Okay, let's assume he gets you with the party in Trinidad for 2025, right? He is going to join up with the UNC and likes to bring back the UNC in power. So Watson too careful nobody is to bring back the UNC in power, and the UNC likes nothing better than that.
Good afternoon.
Pastor Guru, good afternoon. That lady is annoying my nerves. Why she just don't hush? It's not about you. Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Look how long this is Equilibrium died. And people that still talk about him and say all kind of things, but this is Equilibrium. So I don't know what this certain lady is speaking about. They still say all kind of things about Dr. Eric Williams. They still talk and say a lot of ill things about him. Okay.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good lady. All she don't listen. She don't have to listen to your program. Okay? Sure. I just have to add it. Don't listen. Go on another station.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Pastor Google. How are you?
All right.
Yes. Well, you have to be all right in these times, you know. That horn fella, he choking everybody. And you have a good few of them running around like zombies. They know what they're saying or what they're doing. They're just doing it. But the thing is, Dr. William warned us to talk about the kind of characters that we might be dealing with. Right? I look just the other night, I look at a movie, video on TV, and they talk about the type of people who get into criminal activities. They say that when they learn too much, the front of their brain, they can't handle the things that they learn, and it starts to malfunction as they start to do all kind of criminal things. So a lot of the people who play in their smart out there, we know that they have some ulterior motives behind their ingenuity. Because they're ingenious, you know, they're ingenuine ingenious. That's the kind of ingenious they are. So we have to watch Mr. Duke. The fellow who say that how Duke think he could fool us. He fooled us already, you know. When he was running PSA, he fooled a good bit of Trinidadians. He fooled the other unions too. It's only when they do catch up with his speed and mischief, then they will think differently and act differently. So we know who he is. And the same things that he's doing in Tobago and that he did in Tobago is the same thing the UNC did when they came into power in 2010. People are paying attention to that. And yet again, the, how you call it, those UNC sycophants will come and deny it, and they'll forever try to defend
the indefensible. That is what we're looking at. So the same question you ask, that's how it goes. The devil choking a lot of them and had them like zombies running around doing foolish things, and they burn down the country. But they want to do what that wicked man sees. That's just how it is. After Google, yes, just keep holding faith. Time is coming. The time is coming. The things are happening more and more nowadays that showing you that revelation time is upon us. You all have a good afternoon.
All right, thank you very much, caller. Thank you very much. You know, I've seen a story in the UK where the Prime Minister Boris Johnson has now announced the end of self isolation after positive tests. Very interesting. Hello, good afternoon.
Afternoon, Pastor Google. What I have you? How you going? A long time I call you. But anyhow, a new time coming up. You know, with these views, everybody has a view. Everybody has a brain to think and see what they have to say. And whoever has the views, let them air it. And if anybody just want to talk on their views, get a tape recorder, tape their views and listen to it. And don't figure nobody else should say anything. Okay? All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hi.
Hello?
Hi, good afternoon.
Oh, yes, thank you. I'm hearing like a playback.
Oh, sorry, I don't know what happened here.
Yes. Pastor Google.
Yes, Mom.
When a person calls in, they have an opinion.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. Their opinion. And this is a forum where you can voice your opinion, as long as you're not offending anybody. She said what she had to say, that she don't think that we should be dwelling on these things. And you came out and you said why we should be, and you spoke on it. A barrage of callers calling the woman to be abusive. And a very intelligent woman. She spoke well, but she gave her opinion, which a lot of people don't agree with, and that is fine. But to be abusing her over and over, and why she and her mother, that is not making sense. Thank you very much, Pastor Google.
All right. So we're coming on to the final leg of the program, where just about 10 to 5 minutes again. So I would have asked a question today. Why would a UNC supporter or UNC activist, or let me use this term, people who say they're talking for country, people who say they're talking for country, feel that they are able, they have the right to push down lies in your throat, and they feel so confident to do it. And people who presenting just the fair facts and truth to you, we feel as though we ridicule. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Pastor Google. You hear me?
Loud and clear.
Yeah, good program as usual.
Yeah, long time I hear you, man.
Yeah, man, I there watching from the pavilion. I want to say you are entitled to run and show how you feel fit and speak about who you feel is relevant at the time. You understand? Don't let nobody dictate or try to dictate the truth. You see, a lot of Trinidadians don't understand the politics. A lot of them saying right now Watson Duke is irrelevant in the politics. We see what he did, how that party originated. He went up as an independent. See, we here to forget with history too fast.
Yep. And I think that's my problem, Why we may want to ignore them and forget them. Let me tell you something. I listen to all platforms. My wife does get upset because I listen to everything. Let me tell you something. When you listen to Anil Roberts, or you listen to the Crown Report, or you listen to, they don't talk about, they don't present no plans to change this country,
No.
They're not sitting down and showing you, okay, this is what the PNM doing, this is what the PNM has done, this is what we coming to do, and this is how we plan to execute it, this is how we did it, and it may have been wrong but we're going to and change it up in this way. They're not doing that, All they're talking about is small pin, all they're talking about is convent girl, and a set of abusive and nasty language, and you don't hear none of their supporters calling their program and saying, Anil, oh God, we fed up I hear you talking about small pin. We fed up I hear you talking about convent girl. Tell me what are they going to do? They have a massive following of people who just like to hear them talk nasty things about people.
Yeah, because the Trinidad public is not relevant to the situation where politics is concerned in Trinidad. I have to say that Google, we on the ground. You remember that man from Shagarama to the parliament?
And let me tell you something now. While you saying we on the ground, being on the ground, I'm sure you are hearing people lapping up all what Anil and all of them have to say, believing it, they faster believing a lie. You understand? Than people who coming to tell you, okay, this is what is happening, this is how it's happening. They don't want to hear that. They like the bacchanal, the controversy, the nasty insults. And then now you hear people asking, you really think PNM will win the local government election, boy?
No, but how Kamala came into power? Indian voted for Kamala. She came in, served the people, and she fooled a lot of PNM people. They went over and vote. A lot of Africans went over and vote.
They ill speak Mr. Manning right through.
I tell you, but what I'm telling you, I come to the point. The John public in Trinidad, especially African race, I still stop pleading until they're on the ground. They seem to forget very fast, and they fall for foolishness. You understand? They doesn't understand the politics. And let me tell you something, if PNM ain't straightened out, because I will vote for them. I will go to big one vote. So you know who's speaking. If PNM ain't straightened out the act, I don't know who's their PRO right now, because this man Joseph died, he's drunk in Tobago. I find the going haywire. And they're slipping and sliding very slowly. People don't want to believe that. They're too naive to the politics. As I was telling you, how Watson Drew came into being. He went up as an independent. You remember when he formed the party? And he almost beat that girl up in the country, Webster Roy. And when you see that, next election he went up and he and this boy Farley and the next senator went into the House of Assembly. They had 3 personnel there. And then they end up 6-6. And then this one here that come 14-1. People don't remember that or what? In the 1980s, who was controlling the Tobago House of Assembly? Was the NAR. PNM had won the lonely seat, Mr. Mackenzie, the only lone fox in the House of Assembly to speak on PNM behalf. Who voted out the NAR and put PNM to be the majority? It's the same Tobago people. They didn't come from St. Vincent or Grenada. Tobago people is made up of a different character. If you go there and do foolishness, move here. So if PDP go there and do the same thing, they'll move them. So I don't want some people calling and want to they want to treat Farley and Watson Duke as though they're from some other island. I wish them well. But if they do foolishness, the people come up and vote them out the same way. Because the same people who move the PNM and put them, and they move the NAR and put the PNM. People didn't come from St. Vincent or Grenada to do that. It's the same Tobago people who have a certain philosophy. You cannot fool the people.
All right.
Right?
Thank you very much.
You have a blessed day. But PNM have to get the act together.
Thank you.
Have a blessed day. Good program. Keep it locked.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. All right. Good afternoon, sir. I just joined. But I just want to rebuttal what you now say. So now, even though they get no act together, let me tell you something. Mr. Patrick Manning depended on intelligence to win the election. UNC depended on stupidity to win the election. And stupidity winners, so yeah. And we come and we prove that it was a stupid decision. And the cycle has come around again. Where people like Anil Roberts and all, and Lal and all of them, depending on the dotishness of people to win the election. And that is what's going on. PNM could win any election, but the intelligence quotient of the country itself had to increase because it has been proven that the dotishness that has sell to move the PNM doesn't work out. You understand? After that, here people saying PNM had to do this and PNM had to do that and PNM had to do. Yes, it has certain things like Miss Tracy Davidson could make a turn here. It has certain little things to do. But what we need to do is to increase the intelligence of the majority who does come out and vote against the PNM. That's that chirpet people. I talking plain just like how you talk plain. They just and that's that dotish people that vote out the PNM, brother. You understand? And I don't know how it does be done. How Kamala and them does do it, how Anna Robertson and them does do it. But somehow, and it's only black people that does affect, boy. And that is what upset me. Have a nice.
All right, thank you very much, caller. Let me see, do I have a caller holding here? No. All right, so here's where I have to leave it, Trinidad and Tobago. I want to thank all of you for your calls. Thanks to everybody for their discussion. Kingsley, you didn't call in. I would have really liked for you to call in and answer the question, but you didn't call in. Caller, I have to be really quick. I want to try my best to squeeze you in.
Yes. Thank you so much. And it will be quick. You see what that last caller said? It is absolutely true because the last dispensation of the UNC government, from the way they handled their governing, for the amount of stealing they did from the poor people of this country, they shouldn't even win one seat. They should not have even win one seat, but African people, again, people just forget and support base and all this kind of a thing. For the way how these people try to drain the treasury, they shouldn't win back with not even one seat. But here they are gaining ground. Thank you, Pastor.
Yeah, the gaining, you're right. The gaining ground is right. Let me leave it there. Trying to figure I'm out of here. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Because I may play a video. I want to deal and I want to play that documentary video. Come back after. I'm out of here. Coming up next is the VNR show.
The views expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of the Street 919 FM.
Even the theology. Because this is an experience. There's something about this. Lord, I feel distant. I need you here right now, Lord. Hey.